You know that person who turns the TV down before they can even think. The one who flinches a little when the blender starts, who quietly asks the table to lower their voices, who needs the radio off to find a parking spot. Maybe they keep the lights low at home. Maybe they leave a loud party and feel like they can finally breathe again the second the car door closes. Maybe that person is you. People who need everything to be quiet collect a lot of labels. Too sensitive, high maintenance, controlling, no fun, fragile. Someone always says it's not even that loud. And for a second you believe them. You wonder if something is wrong with you if everyone else is fine and you are the broken one in the room. But here is the reversal. The need for quiet is usually not weakness, and it is not you being difficult on purpose. For many people, it is simply a nervous system that takes in more and feels it longer. Quiet is not you avoiding the world. Quiet is you turning the volume down so you can finally hear yourself think. So let's name what is actually happening. Psychologists describe a trait called sensory processing sensitivity. People who have it are often called highly sensitive, and research suggests it shows up in roughly 15 to 20% of people. It is not a disorder. It is a wiring difference. The nervous system registers subtle things other people miss and then processes them more deeply before letting them go. So a loud restaurant is not just loud. It is the clatter of plates, the music 3 conversations at once, a baby crying, a chair scraping, and the fluorescent hum all arriving together, all asking to be processed. Other people filter most of it into background noise. The sensitive nervous system keeps every channel open. By the end of the night, you are not bored and you are not rude. You are simply full. That is why quiet feels less like a preference and more like a need. When the noise finally stops, something in the body unclenches. Researchers who study attention describe a simple idea here. Directed focus is a limited resource and constant stimulation slowly drains it. Silence is when that resource refills. It is not nothing happening. It is repair happening quietly under the surface. And there is a deeper layer underneath that. Studies on noise sensitivity have found that people who are more sensitive to sound tend to report more sleep problems, more anxiety, and lower moods, and that broken sleep is part of how all that noise gets under the skin. So when a quiet person guards their evening, protects their slow morning, or goes silent after a noisy day, they are not being dramatic. Their body is doing maintenance the only way it knows how. You can probably feel this in small specific moments. The deep relief of a house when everyone has finally gone to bed. The way you turn the car radio off when you are lost as if your ears need to clear before your eyes can work. The quiet Sunday where you say almost nothing and feel more like yourself than you have all week. The headphones you wear not to listen to anything but just to build a small soft wall around you. For a lot of quiet seekers, this started early. Maybe you grew up in a loud house where raised voices meant something was about to go wrong and a quiet room was the only safe one. Maybe you learned that staying calm and unnoticed was how you kept the peace. So somewhere along the way, your body wired quiet to safety and sudden noise to danger. Now years later, a slammed cabinet or a blaring television does not just annoy you. It pulls an old alarm you never agreed to install. And modern life is not exactly gentle about it. Open plan offices, notifications all day, group chats that never sleep, traffic headlines autoplay, and a phone that buzzes in your pocket like a small, anxious animal. For a sensitive nervous system, the ordinary world is already turned up to 10 long before anyone actually raises their voice. And so you build small systems just to survive it. You sit facing the door at the cafe. You take the long, calm way home instead of the fast, loud one. You schedule a recovery day after anything big, a wedding, a conference, a holiday with the whole family. You are not antisocial. You are budgeting. You know exactly how much noise a single day can hold before it starts spending tomorrow, so you spend it on purpose the way a careful person spends money they worked hard to earn. This is also where the trait quietly becomes a kind of strength. The same sensitivity that makes a loud room exhausting is the same sensitivity that lets you catch the shift in a friend's voice. The tension in a room, the small detail everyone else walks straight past. People who need quiet are often the ones who think deeply, feel precisely, and create with real care. The volume that costs you in a crowd is the very thing that lets you understand people on a level they rarely get from anyone else. And quiet is often where your best thinking actually lives. The idea that finally arrives in the shower. The clarity that shows up on a slow walk with no headphones in. The way a knotted problem untangles itself the moment the room goes still. For a mind that processes everything deeply, silence is not empty. It is the workshop. Take the noise away and you are not doing nothing at all. You are finally doing the quiet, invisible work the loud world never left you any room for. But every strength has a shadow, and honesty matters more here than flattery. There is a version of needing quiet that is peace, and a version that is hiding. From the outside, the two can look almost exactly the same. Peace is when quiet gives you back to the world. You rest, you settle, your system comes down, and then you are ready to call the friend, go to the dinner, and live your actual life. Hiding is when quiet slowly becomes the entire life. The invitations stop being declined and start being feared. The calm of an empty room curdles into a quiet belief that every room with people in it is simply too much. One of them restores you. The other one shrinks you. The difference is not the quiet itself. It is the direction it moves you. If your silence is a place you return to and then leave again, it is a sanctuary. If your silence is a place you slowly stop being able to leave, it has quietly become a cage. The same closed door can be rest or retreat, and honestly, only you can feel which one it really is. There is also a fair point here for the people who love you. Your need for quiet is real, but so are they. The goal is not to demand a perfectly silent world, and it is not to apologize for needing any quiet at all. It is to say the true thing out loud, not, you are too loud, but I take in a lot and I just need 10 minutes to come back. That is not controlling. That is a person handing someone a map to their own wiring. So if you are someone who needs everything to be quiet, here is the reframe. You are probably not too sensitive, and you are almost certainly not broken. You may simply have a nervous system that runs with the windows open, one that feels the weather of a room before anyone has said a single word. Quiet is how you close those windows for a little while. Not to leave the world for good, but so you can step back into it without being soaked. So the work is not to become someone who suddenly loves noise. The work is to keep your quiet honest, to let it be the room you rest in, not the room you disappear into, to protect your silence without letting it wall you off from the people who would gladly lower their voices if only they understood why it mattered so much to you. So let me ask you gently, when you reach for the quiet, is it your sanctuary, the place that gives you back to your life? Or is it slowly becoming the place where you hide? Tell me in the comments. And if this one felt like someone quietly reading your mind, stay close because the next video was made for you too.